Welcome to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT. You can refer to me as Miss T or just plain old TT. Y'all see the thumbnail? We're going to talk about this weekend, my weekend for sure. And y'all see what I say, review the fights. And I asked a question, it's an important question. Is Frank Martin, that is, really the goods? Or is he good because of his association? We're going to get into that and more. But first, y'all know the drill. Let's turn to welcome back to Boxing Fans Talk. I'm your host, T, or you can call me just plain old TT. And y'all saw the thumbnail and everything, but y'all know what I do at the top of my hour. We do a water check. I say this every day that I come on because I feel it's important. Anyway, water check. I am up to my usual 10 bottles of water, 8-ounce bottles, that is. I don't want y'all thinking I'm just down in 16-ounce bottles of water. Nah, I'm drinking 8-ounce bottles of water because water is a life sustainer. And here at Boxing Fans Talk TV, we advocate that everybody drink water, winter, spring, summer, and fall. We're in winter now. Don't think because it's cold out there, you don't need to drink your adequate amount of water. And we know that a lot of people don't like to drink water. So we always say at least twice a day, drink water if you're not a water drinker. Hell, trick your mind. Drink all your water and tell yourself, yeah, I'm going to get that soda. I'm going to get that hottie toddy. I'm going to get that coffee. I'm going to get that beer. But first, I'm going to drink my water. Front load your water first. And if you're a person that don't drink a lot of water, we advocate that at least twice a day that you drink water. First, drink water first thing in the morning. Before your toes hit the ground, before you get off into your morning routine of washing your face, brushing your teeth, or whatever it is that you do, drink you 8 ounces of water. Have it ready for you, sitting on a nightstand. 8 ounces, that is. You just need a cup. If you think of your body as an engine and the water is the lube, and the body is moving and churning and burning, and you need water to help things move smoothly and in an efficient manner. The second time we advocate is when you get out the shower. A lot of us take our shower and baths at night before we go to bed. When you get out that shower, throw on your pajamas. When you get to the bed, you're going to do a couple of things. You're going to read a magazine article, a passage in a book, or you're going to look at a couple of programs on TV. And this is where we say, drink your second water for the day. It's a lot of stuff going on at night in the deep sleep. The American Heart Association even agrees that you should drink water at this time. It's good for your heart. Kind of like wine drinking is good for your heart. Of course, water is too, especially right before you go to bed. A lot of reads going on when you get your deep sleep. And I'm talking deep sleep, not a cat nap. You got your revamping, recharging, rebooting, recleaning, recreating. And this is why you need the water. Another fun fact is the average person burns between 900 to 1,000 calories at night in a deep sleep. You're not even getting that in the workout. If you going balls to wall in the gym, you probably burning about 300 calories. So this is better, right? 900 to 1,000 calories is better, right? Well, you want it to work. Nothing works without water. Okay? So drink your water up. Make sure you get a deep sleep. And as time go on, add to the water. If you drink that water at least twice a day, it's easy to add another bottle. And before you know it, you up to 100 ounces. But if you're an adult, any adult can drink 128 ounces of water a day. That makes a gallon. Now, don't overdo it, because the formula is half your body weight in ounces. But there is a such thing as overdoing it with water. So don't be that person. Don't be out here in 2022 having dehydration problems, because it's not necessary. We know better. When you know better, you choose better, right? So drink your water up. Now, on to some housekeeping. Please, 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 in my humblest voice ever, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. If you've already subscribed, no need to hit that button. You're locked in. You good to go. But basically, lean on my leasy when you step into my heatsy. Basically, hit the damn like button when you step into my square circle. And of course, like and share every time you come into here. If you're watching me on replay, leave a comment. I read them. As long as you got rationale and you're logical with your comment, hey, you might persuade me to see things your way. But if you come in here with some fugazi mess, I validate that I read it and I keep it pushing. In one ear, out the other. If you have any questions about anything that I've said in the past, present, or you think I'm going to say something in the future, you can also hit me up at boxingfanstalk@gmail.com. That's boxingfanstalk@gmail.com. I read all y'all emails. And I get back with you if I feel it's something necessary to say. Never mad at anybody's opinion. We can get passionate, but by the end of the show, we always hug and kiss and make out. So your opinion is not the end of the world, and neither is mine. We talking boxing. Also, I want y'all to know, this thing on the right side of your little screen, Boxing Fans Talk TV, with the green dollar sign up there, that's my Cash App. Feel free to jump on that joint. Leave a donation. All donations go back into the channel. And let me tell you, thank you. And I appreciate all donations. A lot of times when I get offline, I see that you guys sent a donation. So I want to thank you for those donations. But don't be afraid to click that button, that Cash App button. Hell, cut a jig on that motherfucker. Miss T, or TDT, is very appreciative. So, y'all see the thumbnail, but let me say hi to some folks that came on in. Our Money is in the building. Was popping, King. He said, Miss T, word on YouTube is 120K worldwide. I don't know. Our Money, I still been looking for BLK saying, I guess you're talking about the numbers for the fight. But until BLK say that they release the numbers, that's what I'm going to go by. But if it's 120K, it's 120K. But I still haven't seen where BLK say that they released the numbers. Miss Fistiana Fights, what's poppin', Queen? She said, hey, sis, welcome to the channel. She said, hey, Our Money. Andrew Charles is in the building. What's poppin', King? He said, good evening, Miss T. Teron Harris, welcome back. What's poppin', King? He said, an Errol Sexual sure is ignoring that 120K pay-per-view report. Our Money said, Fistiana. She said, absolutely, drink that water. Indeed, indubitably. Indeed. Our Money said, Miss T, I think Frank Martin is a good fighter. Didn't know he was 27. Yeah, his birthday in January. He about to be 28. He got into boxing late. He's a good fighter. We're going to talk about him for sure. Vinny, what's poppin', King? Is that the Trump picture? He said, I like to. He said, burn calories with you. Okay. This Sienna Fight. Okay. This Sienna Fight said exactly. Boxing and making out. Captain Fluid G was poppin', King. He said, salute, Lady T. Dan Tan is in the building. Was poppin', King. He said, salute, Queen. Now, before I get into the review of the fights, y'all, I want to tell y'all about a little story. Story time. So I had an interesting weekend. We all did. We watched these fights, right? Y'all ever heard the story of Sasquatch? AKA Bigfoot. Now, for years, and we talking even going back to the 1800s, a lot of people have talked about sightings of Bigfoot, right? And depending on where you are, they call them different names, right? But it's all kind of the same story. And it makes you wonder, is it true? Now, what we know about animals. We have wildcats in America, and Africa have wildcats. We have manatees at the bottom down there of Florida. But we have manatees in South America and overseas. We have birds here. They got birds over there. My point, you ask, Bigfoot, we obviously have Bigfoot sightings here in America. People stake their whole lives and look into it and shit, and you got it in other places, right? Well, I had my real live Bigfoot sighting. Well, I'm equating this to a Bigfoot sighting. It's one thing to meet Errol Sexuals online. It's another thing to know one. So imagine my surprise of a friend of mine who I refer to him for a lot of things. He's a go-to or whatever for a lot of things. Being an Errol sexual, you could have knocked me over with a feather. And that ain't no easy feat. Man, this motherfucker dude knows something about everything. When I tell you he my go-to. If I got car questions, I ask him. When I needed my air conditioning units fixed, I asked him. Anything electrical, I asked him. Anything that costs money that you have to fix or address in your home or just in life, I go to him. This man got experience and know-how. He's a very smart dude. So imagine my surprise when I pull up on him in the text message, and this motherfucker is a real live Errol sexual. I said, damn, that's my Bigfoot sighting. Because as I say, it's one thing to meet y'all online. It's another thing to know an actual motherfucking Errol sexual. So I said, this can't be. This can't be. I'm breathing heavy and shit like, what the fuck? What happened to my friend? With the body snatchers, the invasion of the body snatchers going on? What the same hell going on? It started out me just letting him know, hey, there's a fight this weekend you might want to watch. I know the man is busy. He raising little kids. So I'm just letting him know he works. And then he got to raise these little kids. Yeah, that means you don't got no time. So I always keep him in touch. You know, he's a boxing person like me. But, you know, sometimes shit can get mixed in the course of just living life. You know what I'm saying? And he comes back with this hate. And he was spewing lies, as Errol sexuals do. And then I was like, I would answer back, and this be like short little texts. Then all of a sudden, he was sending novels full of lies. I call them novels because, I mean, shit. The text was long as hell. So shit, I sent a novel back, nigga. You ain't about to outdo me. I sent a novel back. So now we back and forth. When I tell you this shit went on 2 days. So I said, we got to get a third party. I started asking for his son. Your son right there, get him on the phone. Because it's just some straight common sense shit right here. His son won't damn. So I said, all right, let me text my other friend that he knows. So I text my friend. I said, look, I need your help. I think I need some mansplaining. Because it's coming out of a female's voice, this nigga can't hear me. So I need you to come through. Now, I know my friend is a Bud fan, but he likes Spence too. But my friend ain't never going to agree with me if he don't agree with me. That's the kind of friend he is. So he said, bet. I bullshit y'all now. We get on the phone in the evening time. We didn't get out the phone till 6 a.m. Talking about loud capping, over talking each other, all that stuff. You got to do it because these Errol sexuals get caught up in their feelings and they won't stop talking and they won't listen. They don't let you rebuttal. They don't let you debunk. Nothing. Let me tell you one of the lies he said straight up. He said BLK was in the red before the fight and they in the red after the fight. I said, how? How is that possible? They only made $5 million last year and blah, blah, blah. Okay, you still not telling me how. How much they put out last year and only brought in 5 million? Oh, you just saying that because Terrence is associated with it. These same Erosexuals, I'm going to make a prediction. That's one of their arguments. BLK was a bad company. It didn't make money. Okay. We don't like BLK. We don't like the app. Okay. Watch what happened to PBC. In fact, PBC had fights on after the Frank Martin fight. You know how you had to see him? Through an app. I think it's called Boxing, but BXINGTV.com. Yeah. Floyd's new app. They don't have to pay these people much. Pennies on the dollar. That's it. The beautiful thing about an app, there's no middleman no more. There's no barriers with the networks. Who can see what? Who has the rights to show this and do that? The apps can be downloaded on people's phones or devices all over the world. So they don't have to be beholden to the barriers that play getting the business done or putting a fight together when you're dealing with an app. You pay the streaming service, i.e. the app. And then everything pretty much come back into you, whereas the streaming service probably get a cut. But all the money go back to the fighters, as they should. But here we go. It's in the red. I said, that's impossible. They had investors. Who invested? I said, well, we know Warren Buffett. I don't need to go further than that. No, they didn't. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. I was like, you didn't look at the promo running through the fight the whole time when they said, these are our investors. BLK Prime, for all the Erosexuals that's listening right now, they had goldenrod, what they call it, goldenrod companies, meaning it was a collage of companies. Basically, Warren Buffett and his friends. You had American National Bank, and then you had Feltz, FELTZ, Wealth Plan, which is a financial advisor, so to speak. Those were the investors. They're going to lose money. I'm like, why are you worried about it? These billionaire problems. They know how to put money into stuff that they feel is credible or not. Why are you worried about it? He just was arguing the point, but he never stated a fact. Then he gets on and I'm jumping around. One of our arguments was Errol Spence had this accident. He came back strong and went, and when he got 2 more straps and blah, 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 or another strap and blah, 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 and all this. And I said, ain't nobody mad at that. But you act like Errol Spence the only one that had to came back from adversity. What about Terrence Crawford getting shot in the head? That's when he was in them junior lightweights. Nigga, adversity is adversity. You get shot in the head and come back and get all these accolades, Ring Magazine, Lineal, Undisputed, Unified, Champion, in 3 different weight classes. What you talking about? That was a long time ago. I said, oh my God. I really do got a Bigfoot sighting. I was like worried for a second. I was like, he got to be playing. He wasn't playing. I known this dude for years. Then he got mad at me because of the things I said about PBC. So I know y'all saying, T, that's just typical Errol Spence. But as I told y'all, it's one thing to meet these Erosexuals online. It's another thing to know one and have known them for years. Let me show y'all something. Let me show you something. Look at, what is that? Boxing. This is a credible source. Never have I ever seen this list this short. For those of you who think that PBC ain't got a problem with networks, what do you see? You know, people in business like this with $1 million exchange and stuff, you know, exchanging hands, you know, millions of dollars got to be paid out and even hundreds of thousands of dollars. You talking a business. Ain't no fucking way they don't have a schedule. Schedules are made well in advance. Maybe you don't have certain fighters on your books on the schedule just yet, but I promise you, this is one of the sources that I use to read every day when I come in here with boxing news. Look at how short this motherfucking schedule is. You got Showtime. The next time you see Showtime is here. So in the year 2023, that's the only 2 PBC fights. ESPN is not a PBC fight. Sky Sports is not a PBC fight. I don't know who this is. D. Carolis versus Scardina. Hope I said your name right, player. I don't know who they fighting on. Another ESPN. And then at the bottom, BLK Prime talking about Broner and Red Catch. Showtime up here twice. So people who say Showtime don't got a money problem, yes, they do. Because when they make fight, you think Showtime is not going to put up their dates? Showtime have kind of exclusively given PBC the rights to show their fights on their channel. I even say Fox have canceled their contract with PBC. And he gave me pushback on that too. So he told me, he sent me this article and it had September 4th date on it. This past September 4th, right? Well, I went to reading it. And the Errol sexuals, trust me, they're not going to read the fine print. If you read that article that was probably reposted, and because it was reposted, it had this year's date on it, making it look like this is something that happened this year. But what that article really is a reprint or retelling of something from the past. Because if you read the article, it tells you that Fox inked the deal with PBC in 2018 for a 3-year deal. And that deal ended in 2021. But if you just want to say, read the headlines, Fox, inked the deal or whatever, however they said it with PBC, and then you look at September 4th, 2022. And I was like, you know what? What I'm used to, I'm from the school of, if you telling the truth stands alone. You don't need to make up no shit, no extra shit to prove your point. You don't need to go through all that. Because your truth is just as good. But he thought he had me. Now, when we and him were talking, I couldn't get a word in edgewise. We argued about the 2023 date. Blue Blood over there arguing about the bust a blood vessel and all that. But I will say, Blue Blood, I'm glad you know better and you see better. But all them years of saying the contrary, and then for you to turn around and lean on facts, this is why they upset. With all due respect to Blue Blood, he made his bed. He made that bed. You guys created this monster, which we'll call Errol Sexuals, no different than the guy who created Frankenstein. You can't create Frankenstein and then get mad that he go around busting shit up and talking shit and swallowing spit, and the truth ain't in him. You can't get mad. Y'all created that. Y'all created that monster. Mr. Warren is in the building. He says, salute. Our money's capsule full of peace, fam. I watch your videos. Our money, Warren. What's up, fam? Salute, Queen T, PGH, Big Dog. What's poppin', King? He said, damn shame. Your hate for Spence goes deep. This is one of my Errol Sexuals. But PGH, I cannot be hating when I tell the truth. Hate is synonymous with lies. I ain't lied to y'all yet. He said PBC hardly ever comes out with the schedule. What else is new? That's a damn lie. And I have to say it like that because I watch this shit every day for a year and a half. So I'm supposed to not believe what my eyes are seeing. I watch this shit, PGH, every day. Do you? Do anybody else go to this website? That is their schedule. And I don't understand why anybody would be upset that PBC might fold. It's the American way. Remember he said that on New Jack City? It's the American way. Businesses come and they go. Depending on how you run your business, they can stay or it could go. So why is anybody mad or ready to go to bat for PBC? Why deny the obvious? I'm not saying in the midnight hour before close of business that PBC can't come back and get a reprieve and find a network. I'm not saying that PBC ain't gonna find a network. I'm saying you motherfuckers gonna eat y'all words. Mr. I don't like apps. Mr. Fuck apps. Watch how fucking y'all be paying for apps. Some of y'all stream that shit, but watch how y'all Errol Sexuals gravitate to apps. You know what else y'all used to do? Y'all hated Bob Arum. Remember that? You hated Bob Arum. Couldn't stand Terrence. Matter of fact, PGH, you told me yourself. Terrence put a target on his back because he re-signed with Bob. But y'all have not said shit about Bob since fucking Devin Haney, because that's one of y'all favorites. Since Devin signed with Bob, y'all ain't said shit about Bob. Ain't criticizing him, ain't doing none of that shit. Bob okay now, because your guy. That's why I was telling PGH. You not mad at that, try again. Modern King is in the building. What's poppin', King? He said, use a liar, PGH. Pull up their schedule for late last year. I guess you mean last year. I pull up their schedule all the time, PGH. But I will try throughout the show to find them. But I pull up, if you watch my show, how many times, can anybody vouch for me, how many times I pull this schedule up? Off and on through my shows. He said Fred been complaining for years. Yes, he has. And a lot of us wasn't listening. But hello, sometimes you got to turn your ears on. He said he done, Miss T. When the last business Al Heyman had that folded? Fake news. It's not about that, dude. That doesn't even make logical sense, PGH. When the last business Al Heyman had that folded? Because you never folded before doesn't mean you won't ever fold. That's not how life works. What Al could say with that statement you made, if he wanted to go get a loan or something, he could say, when the last time my business folded? But we don't know that much about Al Heyman's business to even know whether he took a loss or not. But again, just because you never take a loss, first time for everything. Deontay was kicking ass and taking names for the longest time until he didn't. Think of all the fighters that did get a loss. Keith Thurman was kicking ass most of his career until he didn't. Errol Spence been kicking ass all this time until Terrence get a hold of him. I had to throw that one in there. PGH, I had to throw that one in there. Monty King Boxer said PBC homeless than a motherfucker. Than a motherfucker. Look, nigga, I told you don't come through here before 2 a.m. or 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Go ahead, nigga. Remember that on I can't even remember the name of the damn movie. When they had Old Dog. What's the name of that damn movie? Anyway. Yeah. Sometimes the grave you dig for yourself. Errol Spence is on tape saying, see, I dated myself when I said tape. Errol Spence is on video saying, he a man without a land. That's starting to look like PBC. Do I wish for that? No. PBC got a lot of fighters, innocent bystanders, that counts on them. Not that they do them a solid. Not that they put them on the tizoo. Not that they not shelving a lot of fighters. PGH bring up Fred from Barbershop Conversation. Fred made a point. PBC fighters fighting once a year. But y'all would talk about Terrence fighting once a year. But your fighters fight. Your favorite fighter fights once a year. Y'all argument is always he ain't fought nobody. David Avocado, David Amnesia, David whatever. A ranked fighter. It don't matter. That's why I tell y'all people, no matter what the numbers is, good or bad, no matter what Terrence Crawford accomplished, they will always look at him in a way that they don't value him. That's why Terrence will always have to bet on himself. What we do know is he going to the Hall of Fame. He did enough. He will be remembered. That and fucking what Spence is, I don't think gonna be remembered like that. He ain't did nothing big. See, and that's me speculating. I could be wrong, but that's my guess based on the other people. You know how many unified champions is in the Hall of Fame? I don't know none of them motherfuckers. I only know the top dog folks. Now, Reginald, where your ass at, boy? Reginald, my bro, love him to death. He come through here all the time. I had to make a correction. I would keep saying it till he get here, because I want him to hear it. The other day, if y'all was here when Reginald said, he made the point where he said, I'm what I hate about you, Miss T. And he was checking the hell out of Miss T. And I was like, get me, Reginald. I didn't mind it. But I was like, okay, you did say something about Tim Bradley going to the Hall of Fame, because we was talking about who going now. And he said Errol Spence definitely going. I said, I can't say that I know that Errol Spence is going to the Hall of Fame. I said, I can't say it. But I know Bud is. And he want that to be true so bad for Earl. And I said, it don't happen hardly ever. Terrence Crawford is an active fighter, not retired, and got his hands casted already. Which tells me that right now, the International Boxing Hall of Fame feels that this nigga is worthy to be on the mantle. They didn't do it for nobody else. They did that for Terrence. So Tim Bradley gets inducted into the Hall of Fame. And I remember I seen a headline, but I skipped past it. I ain't reading it. And he said, Tim just retired. And I know Tim just retired not that long ago. But when I got offline, I went and did a dumpster dive of information. And what I found is Tim Bradley, Andre Ward, and Floyd Money Mayweather all retired in 2017. All three of them. But yet Ward and Mayweather, they've been inducted. We just saw that this year, right? Then we see 3 years worth of inductees that had got canceled because of the pandemic. So they had an influx of inductees all at once this year, right? In June. Timothy Bradley is going into the International Hall of Fame for the year 2023. That means I was right. He didn't go first ballot. So when I say I don't know because I just don't know. Self-explanatory. But I'm not on the committee. I don't get to make that call. But the people who make the call, they've already decided that Terrence going. They have made no such assertion about Errol Spence. Sorry to tell y'all. But like everything that the Spence sexuals say and do, they always get debunked every time. This is the biggest one right here. This is the motherfucking proof right here. See, I'm in the middle of the show. I can't go do research right now. But anybody can go to, what's the name of this thing? Is it right here? No, it's right. Hold up. Let me find it. Anybody can go to Boxing News 24. This is a credible source. And I'm going to click through it just so you know I'm not making it up. Boxing Press. This is how it comes up, y'all. Sorry about my music. Sometimes it come up like this. Sometimes it have pictures. You can hit number 2. But y'all ain't gonna criticize motherfucking Boost fighting Karen. Because Boost was somebody to be thrown in the pathway for Terrence and Earl. But y'all get the point. Y'all see me click the buttons. Go back to the boxing schedule. That is the proof of the pudding. That list is always long. It's at least a month long. And really it'd be like 2 months. Always. I don't even know if they got a search button on the joint. This shit is updated all the time right here. That's the schedule. If I'm lying, I dare anybody go pull up a PBC schedule that's well into the year and show and put the network with it. Because, the network ain't gonna co-sign no fugazi shit. Go pull it up. Monica said, True Media. Now you cheering for PBC to fold. By telling the truth, PGH, you guys are butthurt because I'm telling the truth. What you want me to do to the people, PGH? You tell me. Do you want me to lie to y'all? Y'all in the chat, y'all tell me. Do you want me to lie? Or you want me to tell the truth? I didn't do anything to PBC. I know no one over there personally. I don't have nobody's number on speed dial. I don't get to make no kind of decisions. So how am I praying or cheering for their downfall? Obviously they are. But when y'all gonna tell me that Terrence make bad business moves and he picked a terrible app that's in trouble and was in the red in the first place, you pray on this nigga downfall and anybody that throws him a life round. BLK name is stained with Errol sexuals because why? In their opinion, they threw him a life round. Everybody hates Blue Blood now. The Errol sexuals, that is. I'm going to say not everybody. Correction. But the Errol sexuals hate Blue Blood now. Why? Because he got a business deal with BLK, who happened to throw Terrence Crawford, in their eyes, a life raft. Never mind that Terrence only signed one fight with them. That is not Terrence promoter. If Terrence want to do another fight, they already extended the welcome hand. But because somebody helps Terrence Crawford, their name is mud. That's what it is. Wisdom in the building. Was Papa King said, what's good, Queen? Mana said, oh, they love Haney and his daddy, so Bob Arum is okay. These ninjas can't stay on code. And I pointed that out, Mana King. Yeah. Y'all have not said nothing. I've been listening and I've been waiting. I've been waiting. Top Rank Toby was okay. But now Devin Haney over there, Bob is good, huh? What if Devin Haney lost to Cambosis? They like Devin Haney. It would have just been unfortunate. I like Devin Haney. I'm not mad that Devin Haney chose whatever he chose. He did what he felt he needed to do. I'm not mad that Errol tried to tell y'all all the time. See, he nips it in the bud straight away. Terrence didn't do that. When y'all try to say, me and Al, we like this. That's my boy. That's my buddy. PGH Big Dog, it's always been fuck dirty ass Crooked Bob. He been trashed for years, but they just claim it was all Don King. Captain Full G said, what's good, Al Money and Monty King boxing? Salute both of y'all. Monty King said, I thought Al Heyman was in debt with his investors for at least half a beat. I don't even know. I know he ain't got no money. That don't mean Al personally don't have no money. Let me be clear. He don't personally. He's not going through nothing personally financially. But he don't put up his money, y'all. He never put up money for the fights. He make money off of fights. You know what I'm saying? That's how it works. If Haney lost to Cambosis, I'm pretty sure it would be some race politics pissing on Bob Arum as a culprit. Bob will have him just where he want him. I was listening. I think Reginald Peters. It's happy holidays. Hit the like button, subscribe, share, and join. Andrew says Spence doesn't even have enough time left in his career to achieve what Crawford has. He doesn't. That's an excellent point, Andrew. That's not shitting on Spence. When you drink, you add 5 years to your life. Whether you're a boxer or a regular Joe Smuckatelli or James Smuckatelli, you add 5 years to your life. Martin said, yes, they had 3 Hall of Fame years in this last year due to Corona. Yep. Al Money saying KB, Andrew. Al Money, peace God already. Martin King. PGH, answer the question. Answer the question, PGH. PGH, my buddy, but he's an Earl sexual. I'm gonna say this: PGH is consistent. He's consistent. He's been consistent since day one. Love the man. Love you, PGH, but I got to check you, shouted. Spence super fans are sickening. Yeah, and now that I know my best bud that I've known for years has caught the Errol sensitivity disease or the Errol sexual disease. Now that I know he's a victim of it, I feel sad. But I swear I felt like I was at a Bigfoot sighting. I said, nah, my boy. When you become an Errol sexual, these are the symptoms. You lose all rationality. Logic doesn't exist in your dojo. For some reason, they believe Blue Blood Slick TV was on them. Was one of them. He was saying what he was saying, which a lot of it I didn't agree, or they were just, to me, false narratives. Whether he really believed them and he put it out like that, or whether he was doing what he got to do to make his money or his mark in YouTube, that's another thing. A lot of people do some strange things for some change on this YouTube. I don't knock them. That's what you want to do. You know, it has nothing to do with what I want to do or how I want to do it. But I don't need to lie to you. If you got to lie to get your point across, then you was full of shit and have no credibility in the first place. And I stand on that. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your title is to me. You don't have to. The truth is always better. Stand on your truth. You ain't got to do nothing extra. When you start doing that extra shit, that's when you know. Modern King said super fans are crazy. PBC has whatever money they do got in an account called the Canelo account. Other than that, there's no guarantees for anybody. Exactly. At Andrew Charles, we should have peeped that when they gave us the pay-per-views for Chris Martin versus Ortiz. You mean Charles Martin? Yep. That's how you judge, y'all. All the pay-per-views, because that's the only way those guys was going to get paid. It's through pay-per-view. And they got a little bit of the chain. Everybody had a cam up but the fighters. Charles Martin versus Ortiz. And remember, Isaac Cruz and Tank Davis did 50,000 last year in pay-per-views. He didn't do that much more with Rolly. Everybody has been declining in pay-per-view. That got a lot to do with their business model and how they run their business. At one point, PBC was the bomb. Fox don't want to fuck with them no more. Showtime ain't gonna be fucking with them no more. Now, I'll admit, it ain't over till it's over. So if PBC in the midnight hour get a reprieve through Showtime, it's possible. And I give that like a 5% chance. Because according to Paramount, they done with that shit. And I mean, what you want me to do? I didn't run PBC into the ground. I didn't put my empty suits ahead of the fighters. I ain't coming to pay to see Al. I ain't coming to pay to see Floyd. I came to pay to see the fighters. You marinating like a motherfucker? Shit nasty now. Have you ever marinated something to death? shit, there's a such thing as over processing, overdoing, overcooking. Y'all cooking this Terrence and Errol fight, y'all overcooking it. But I just want to tell y'all what happened to me this weekend. My boy is sick. I hope he make a speedy recovery though. But my mediator who came through, this the crazy thing. I would say at least 70% of the lies that he was telling me or arguing with me, he backed down. So maybe it was just the messenger. Maybe coming out of a woman's mouth, he couldn't take it. Even though I said the same thing my boy was saying. Certain things my boy he didn't agree with. That's why I picked him as a mediator, because he ain't gonna agree with me just to be agreeing with me. But you guys see this. This is easy. If you want to see what last year's schedule was in December, go look it up. I'm telling you, I look at this site every day before I start a show. I have never seen this. When I pulled this up today, I wasn't expecting to see this. This is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fights. 2 of them for Showtime. That means 2 PBC fights. Where's February? Isn't that when Errol Spence and Keith Thurman supposed to fight? Where's that date? Isn't Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia supposed to fight? Don't give me no shit about it's on the Zone. It'll be on the Zone and Showtime. Where's that date? April 15th. Well, Coach Malachi let it be known that this weekend also, Oscar let it slip that ain't no final contract with the Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis. I was like, damn, it figures. But they have a date locked in. This is what I mean. These networks have dates locked in for whomever. And they usually have a schedule up. We in December, and you can only go as far as January. I had to dig hard to find articles to give my homeboy that was mediated and my other friend who now has come down with Errol sexual disease. I had to give it to him. He didn't read it, so then I gave it to my friend, and he read it, and it was clear as day. Bloomberg came out with some news when it comes to PBC network that they deal with. Now, taking away PBC's network don't mean that the company PBC is dissolved. It just simply means you don't have a network. Now watch the hypocrisy. Watch the lies. Watch how they turn on the dime. PBC has got to go the way of the app. And watch how apps become more important. One thing I didn't like is at the Frank Martin fight, you asked Earl, you asked his entourage, you asked everybody, did you see the fight? It was almost like they was under a gag order not to say they saw the fight. Some people was even more disrespectful, like, fuck, I ain't seeing that fight. Remember that shit. You are putting that out in the universe. That's how people gonna feel when y'all have to go to the app. Ain't nobody watching that shit. Remember, they kind of like anti-app right now. Anything that Terrence Crawford has done and done well or done first, Errol sexual disease dictates that they don't like that. It's like kryptonite to them. But watch how they turn on the dime when they become a man with no land, in the words of the great Errol Spence. You're a man with no land. And I always say, just be careful of the grave you dig. You might be just digging it for yourself. He used to say that all the time about people. You're a man with no land. He said, exactly, Tink Tank versus Isaac Krug was around 50,000. Exactly. I don't see y'all crying about that. Y'all, like I said, you change on the dime. Delusional, irrational, non-logical. These are the symptoms of early sexual disease. Modern King says Spence and PBC trying to run another scam fight, Manny Pacquiao versus Errol Spence. Now, Errol Spence spoke to them. He said he don't want to fight Pacquiao. He harkened back to Larry Holmes and Ali fight when Larry Holmes beat Ali down pretty bad. And he said he don't get as much respect as he should because he beat the late, great Muhammad Ali. And Earl don't want that fate to bestow him. But I would say like this. You're going to be forgettable, Errol Spence. You know, and it's stuff that you can do to change that around. But you're not. And I ain't going to try to coach you. You and your friends, when all of y'all waited and said, fuck that fight, I ain't buy that shit. Or they was nice to say, I ain't see it. I saw the highlights. Nigga, y'all saw it. Terrence Crawford pulled everybody whole card when he said, you niggas ain't buying my fight. I put my stank on it. I don't think he said you niggas. But he said, basically, for people who ain't buy the fight, y'all show commenting about some shit you ain't seen. I was like, damn, he put that whole card. Martin said Al Heyman has a ton of boxers in the 360 deals. They just do what he says after looking at 2021, where only 32% of his boxers got the fight out of 200. Pretty much. So look, I'm going to drop the link because we can talk about, the review of the fights. But I felt I need to get on here and tell y'all about my real life sighting of Bigfoot. ATL unanimous. What's poppin', King? He said, what's up, Queen? Salute. That was my sighting. But like Terrence Crawford, I came out victorious. All you can say is humna, humna, humna. I be quiet. But when they leave, I'll be talking again. That shit was funny as hell. What's up, Martin?
Hey, what's good? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, ain't nothing much. Just figured I'd hop on, got tired of typing. I got like a pinched nerve in my back part of my shoulder blade. So I just been trying to figure this. My steroids wore off today, so I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. How you doing today?
I'm good. Yeah, steroids is a wonderful drug. It saves lives, but not in the sense that people, that athletes use them. Different type of steroids.
Yeah, it just was a 5-day dosage. Because I thought it was my heart, but I got that NKG thing or whatever, the EKG, where they test your heart, but they said it was a pinched nerve in my back. But I'm thinking it'd have been going away by now with the muscle relaxers and the steroid. It seems like it's just still there. I feel like I just got like a golf ball in the back part of my right shoulder blade. It's weird.
You probably got you probably got a pinched nerve because you got inflammation, so you have to eat inflammation reducing food.
Oh, what is that? Inflammation reduced food.
Inflammation reducing food, meaning every time you pull up food, I'm talking about raw fruits and vegetables, they all have properties that address this, that, and the other. I used to tell this story like if you think about medicine, think about a pill, right?
Yeah.
Man ain't that great that they can sit there and say, you know what? I'm gonna make a pill that addresses a pinched nerve. If they never saw it done naturally. Y'all get what I'm saying? So
for sure,
there's no medicine on this earth that man invented to address anything that deal with human bodies that they have never known or seen it happen naturally. And if you look at certain foods, they address swelling, like turmeric, ginger. Put that on your food, in your drinks. Drink a lot of water, eat a lot of berries. Beets.
Oh yeah, beets, most definitely. Yeah, I try to eat those once a month. That's good for your heart, right?
You should try to eat them every day.
Okay.
Yeah, so you gotta start picking food. Like for instance, when you get about our age, Martin King, you really want to be checking on your heart and doing right by your heart, right? So
yeah,
one thing we know that when people get in their 40s, that and coming out their 30s, everybody different, could be mid to late 30s or just senior 40s. But when you get up there in age, not the 20s, of course, what'll happen is you lose electrolytes. You know how you could go to a person's house and they got children and they got in the refrigerator some Pedialyte or whatever, because children catch bugs. They always getting sick. The most I don't want to say disease like big dog disease, but like they always carrying germs, children. So they always sick. And when they always sick, they always pooping and you know, pooping a lot. You know, they get diarrhea easy, they throwing up with that, whatnot. But when you go through those changes, you lose a lot of electrolytes. Electrolytes is another way of saying vitamins and minerals, really minerals. And you need those minerals. You need zinc, you need iron, you need all those type of minerals. So you're gonna have to eat food that has a lot of minerals. So they suggest to you, especially if you have a bad heart or you're watching out for your heart, of course you're gonna hear the eat a banana. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you, eat a potato, a white potato. Don't get one that's hybridized if you can help it. Why? Because if you think it's important to take a vitamin, like people take vitamins every day, a potato is nothing but a vitamin. That's where the idea to make a vitamin came from. Because everything that you find in that bottle of vitamins, that whole list of minerals, can be found in one potato. And if you ate a white potato every day, guess what? You just took a vitamin. So that's what I'm saying.
Advice. Yeah, that's some sound advice. I would take that up. I would definitely take that up. As far as beets every day, you know, berries, you know, just natural things with minerals. As far as to combat, you know, like, you know, having a healthy heart, you know, or just having a, you know, get rid of that pinchiness. So I see what you're saying. Like, yeah, I get it. Thank you.
Instead of taking a bunch of pills, and real talk, y'all, years ago, like not even 5 years ago, I was taking 16 pills a day, and they all had a purpose. I started eating the food that did what the pills did, which was the natural way to go. God made it up first. And now I take, let me see, 6 pills, 4 of which are my blood pressure pill. I can't get out of that. And the other 2 are my thyroid pills. I can't get out of that. I would forever in my life take the thyroid pills because mine was removed some 25 years ago. I'll tell y'all about that. But the blood pressure pills, I'm hoping that I can knock them off too. I've already knocked off 1 and I'm fine. Yeah. So really, I'm taking 5 pills. We'll see. But like I said, I find food.
That's good.
That imitates that's
good.
The
you came
pill.
From 12, yeah. Yes,
16.
Sir. Yes, ma'am.
16.
I hear you. Yeah, Miss T, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I heard your story when you said that a long time ago. Like when you said you went from
Right.
12 pills and now it's like 5 because you basically studying up on it, and you did your research and you just start combating all of the pills you had to take. And I remember that story. It was a very good story. About your
Yeah.
life and what you dealt with. That's for sure.
Yeah. He keeps saying 12. It's 16, y'all. 16.
Oh, okay,
I
my
started at
bad.
16. I had to come. You gotta give me my phone. Give me my phone. Let me stop.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
that's what I do. Whenever I have an issue, I be like, damn, what is this? Like, I have edema. And that's something I got to address. So he was talking about steroids. I stay on steroids because I have edema. Not every day do I get up and take it, but every year, all year, I'm rushed to the ER because I start swelling. I always have swelling in my body. But if it's from my neck up, I got to go to the ER. And they just give me a cocktail of steroids. So I can't get a break, but I'm working on that. I'm working on that.
I understand. Yeah, I hear you. Wow, interesting story. Yeah, that's the first time I've had to take a steroid for a pinched nerve. I was just glad it wasn't my heart. You know what I mean? Because I was thinking it was my heart. And I was feeling that pain about, it turned out, it wound up being a pinched nerve. But either or, when you get older, don't nobody want to feel, like they hurt. So you're right, like take things that are healthy for you with minerals in it. You know what I mean? Like start early, keep yourself healthy. I agree, and I'm thankful for that advice you gave me. Yep.
Yeah. But what you got on this boxing?
Oh, nothing much. I liked that Frank Martin versus Michelle Rivera fight. I enjoyed that fight.
Yes.
Yeah. I kind of like I was kind of like all boxed out from last week, so I kind of like with the Terrence Crawford and the David Evanesian. But I enjoyed it. It was like I watched it on ESPN. I actually fell asleep. I was watching that fight before it. What was the fight they had before it? The Ustadagi. I think I was watching Ustadagi.
Oh man, yeah, I got a question about that, but I'm gonna let you get down.
Oh, so, that was a crazy fight. That was a crazy. I had never seen that dude box before he was fighting shenanigans or whatever. But man, shenanigans was putting it on that boy.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, shenanigans.
Look, if I ain't know no better, I would thought that was a nigga up there.
Yeah.
Not being funny, let me be correct. An African American motherfucker move like that. Now y'all see why Paulie said what he said. I'm not trying to cake for Paulie. I'm just saying Paulie said something a while ago that he feel like the European fighters are coming back and they're gonna be better or whatever. And I be like, man, who told the secrets? This is funny to me, right? Yeah. Who told the secrets? Sugar Hill.
Roy Jones went over there.
Yeah, them motherfuckers sold us out. But either way, boxing is for everybody. I just be playing around.
It is.
But I be joking. The Russian fighters, because I call Bivol Young Floyd. Shit.
Yep.
Look at how they fight.
And I think that guy Shenanigans was a Russian too, I believe. He was from the Russian school.
This nigga said
wasn't he? I keep calling him Shenanigans, some shit like. And I don't usually mess people's name up, but that fight was classic. That fight was classic though, Miss T. Because I could have swore that I thought dude was gonna pull it off because Ustadagi was hitting them with some big bombs. But dude had a good chin, and he had good control, and he knew when to hit him. He knew when to hit that big motherfucker.
Man, he actually got some talent. I swear he fights like a typical African American in from Detroit or from wherever or something. I'm looking at how this dude move. I was like, in Russia, they doing it like this? 512 boxing, aka Big Texas. He said, yo, what's popping? What's popping with you, King? Yeah, his name is Shiskin. Yeah.
Shizkin. Shizkin. Shizkin, he kind of reminded me of that dude, that Brandon Adams fought a Russian too. Like his name was Sergey Buachek. And I tell you, Sergey Buachek was whooping on Brandon Adams, because Brandon Adams fought Jamal Charlo once. And I think Charlo beat him. But then Brandon Adams had a comeback fight. And they don't fight him at PBC either. But that Russian was whooping Brandon Adams' butt for like 7 to 8 to 9 rounds all over that ring. And Brandon Adams got lucky and hit that dude with like a short right. and then the sweeping short inside left and knocked that Russian out. But that Russian was whooping his butt that whole fight. They got our secrets. They definitely got our secrets over there, and I'm blaming Roy Jones.
We're gonna have to block them. We're gonna have to excommunicate with them. Them motherfuckers sold out.
Something.
That nigga
crazy.
was moving like a straight black dude.
Yeah, he was sharp too. I'm like looking. He reminded me of Tiger Johnson a little bit, the way he was boxing that dude Ostadagi.
I mean, shit. Now I gotta ask y'all a question with all due respect to all the fellas in here. And I know y'all can say I ain't noticed it. I sat here and waited to see if Martin King was gonna bring it up, but it's typical fellas thing. They ain't gonna bring it up. You hear me, Fistiana? Let me give a shout out to XO Factory. What's Papa King said? One love to the Queen. How are you? One love to MKB. One love to the chat. What's poppin'?
It's good. It's good. The XO Factory. Okay. Peace, God.
Now this ain't no thing that you gotta say pause, Martin King, or any of the guys in the chat. And I wasn't. How do I say it? I wasn't watching. Okay, you can't help but see it. Okay, I won't know this answer unless I ask y'all fellas. So I'm sorry I got to ask the question.
Oh Lord, where we going with this?
What is your obsession with watching the area, the down south area? Every time they clinch, no matter who was the one clinching, when it was a lull in the fight, when the referee had to separate them, fucking Uskatiki kept grabbing his shit. And at first I was like, maybe that's first couple of rounds. Maybe he forgot to put a cup on. Man, he did this through the whole fight. And like most of y'all guys, Shitskin to me should have jumped on him when he was adjusting his shit. But he waited till he adjusted shit, then he threw his hands. 512 saying, what you talking about? If you watch that fight, every time the referee separated them, all through the fucking fight, all night long, motherfucking Uskatiki kept grabbing his dick. I can't say it no more plainer than that. Am I the only one that's seen that shit? I gotta
rewatch it. He was fighting. He was that would be an ample time to jump on somebody, but I mean, I didn't really notice it. But I'm gonna rewatch that because it was on ES. Yeah, that was on ESPN. No, that was on Showtime, so it's definitely rewatchable. You know what I mean? I didn't see that like.
Look, I'm very observant, y'all. I told y'all I was a formerly trained analyst. Observe everything.
Yeah.
512 said, "Oh shit, you right, Queen." Yeah, and I was like, "Do he got a yeast infection or some shit?" I don't know. Is it itchy down there? I mean, because once, twice, okay. All through the rounds, all through the fights. I was like, what is wrong with this motherfucker?
Somebody said he was on coke too. Somebody kept saying he was on coke.
He was on coke?
I heard people saying that he was on coke too and shit when I was watching it.
That make your thing itch?
No, I'm just saying, like, people were saying he had like that look in his eyes, like he was like all coked out and shit. Like people were trying to call Ustadagi a coke head and shit, all types of shit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, Ustadagi, he's already showing the signs of aging. But you know, those Mexican style fight or Latino, I don't know what Ustadagi is. I don't think he's Mexican. But what I'm saying is stand in your face brawl or whatever. That shit is perfect when you're young. When you get older, you're gonna have to have some substance behind that shit. And like I said, shout outs to Shitskin for giving Ustadagi a break while he's adjusting himself. Then after he adjusts himself, they throw their hands or whatever. But I don't know how much adjusting you can do with a glove on and shit. Maybe he should have asked his trainer to adjust it. Y'all touch everything else in the corner. We stay on these shorts and pull my.
Yeah, they both took a lot of punishment though. I felt like Shitskin took a lot of punishment too. Ustadagi, and then I fell asleep. Like you were saying, I fell asleep, and I woke up in like the 8th or 9th round of the Michelle Rivera versus the other guy.
You missed a good
that's why
break
I didn't do no. Yeah, I didn't do no analysis on that because I didn't wake up to like the 8th round, 9th round.
So yeah, let me review the fights, right? And the things Miss T catch and see and be wondering about. Thank y'all for letting me know. Like, some of y'all ain't answered this damn question. Stop acting like you can't talk about this. That's a problem. That's a problem, to be constantly grabbing your shit throughout a fight, as much as Leo Santa Cruz shaking his hands before he get up on you. That is something you can take to the bank. You can time a nigga off some shit like that. Or watch. The referee
yeah,
gonna
we
break.
all watch Wilder lick Wilder's neck. So we also afraid lick Wilder's neck. So this can't be no different. Like
yeah. But this is what I'm thinking. If I was a boxer, he gonna break us, he gonna separate us. Old boy gonna grab his dick, and that's when I swing on his ass. You think a motherfucker can't have that plan? If he did it and knocked him out, what would be the case? Murder was the case that they gave me. You know, if the case would be that you knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, you caught him at the right time. Just protect yourself at all times.
Yeah, you setting, you created a habit. But here's the thing. I've never seen Uskat the Kid, and I've seen him fight several times. I've never seen him constantly grab himself. That's why I said maybe Miss T, it's a male thing that you just don't know. Like, did he forget to wear his cup? Do he got a yeast infection? I don't know. Y'all tell me. But anywho, we're gonna move on. The first fight was a Filipino dude. I don't know his name. I'm sorry, young man. He was fighting somebody named Potato or something. Papapo or something. Papoose or whatever the fuck. Anyway, that guy who he was fighting, Pop wasn't ready. It's not that I thought the Filipino was all that skillful. Pop wasn't ready. He seemed like he didn't know where he was. You know, he forgot how to box, or he missed a step, boy. Because if he moves that slow, he might as well go to start trying to be the next Freddie Roach. That what he might as well do. Did you see that fight?
Like the fight? No, when I finally got the fight turned on, it was like around 9:30, 10 o'clock Eastern. Doesn't it seem like Showtime take a long time before they even start their event on Showtime application? When I was on it, it felt like 10:30 before the fights even started. Like, I was kind of getting pissed because I'm sitting there waiting for the fights, and everybody talking about the preliminaries in different chats, but the Showtime actual app didn't start till like 9:30, 10 o'clock or something like that on the East Coast.
Oh, really?
So I just think, they start late.
I don't know. Like, you want to tell people about the app? Maybe that's the way to go, PJ.
Yeah, the Showtime app is basically, I've had that for like about a year. Showtime app is pretty good. It's just that like they fights start like around late. Like on the East Coast, it seems like it's late because it ain't like ESPN fight. ESPN fight cards start at 9 o'clock. They usually jump off 8:30, 9 o'clock Eastern. But not with Showtime. They start like 10:30. It's kind of sucky because I actually got tired and went to sleep before I could watch the Michelle Rivera. I wanted to watch that from the beginning to the end, but it just came on too late. You know
what? I'm gonna take a venture to say that I think you might be on to something, but it might be this thing that we all overlooking. You can make that complaint about the zone. You can make that complaint about ESPN too. All these low moments in between the fight or starting late and taking too long. And what I'm thinking, and I could be wrong, is that you got a lot of prima donna these days. A lot of fighters go through this prima donna phase. But they come in, they thinking that they more than what they are, especially if you hype them up. And all it takes is for them to go through a little adversity for you to be like, so you pull your whole card. But before you can truly earn, your status of King Dingaling, you walking around acting like you got the status. I guess the word fake it till you make it is really transcended across all barriers and aspects of society to include professional athletic sports. Because that's what they're doing. They're faking it till they make it. Why else would you hesitate and pause and take all day to keep the fight moving. It never used to be like that. But yes, you
No.
have noticed that shift. And I would say to Showtime, anybody, even if Showtime got a couple of fights left before they close shop, stop that shit. The Zone, don't do that. ESPN, don't do that. People with the apps, don't do that shit. Fans don't like that shit. You didn't used to do it. Nigga either ready or he gonna get fined. Start attaching some money to when they take it too fucking long. Nigga, you supposed to walk out at 8 o'clock on the dot. If it's 8:05, charge them $1,000 a minute or $10,000 a minute. I bet their ass be at there 7:58 on the dot. I'm just waiting. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I think it is, because the show can't go on without the extra fighter. And I was like, why is this going on everywhere? It's irritating to those networks that put on fights. That shit is irritating the fans.
I'm all in the comment sections on PBC. I'm all in the comment section on Showtime, like right before the fight actually got started. I'm all in like, let's go. I'm writing long ass word like, let's go. Like, I was getting bored. Getting bored. I'm telling you.
I would too. Like you said, some of us watching this shit at home. You stop taking all this time in between fights. I close my eyes 1 or 2 times. Nigga, gone. I'm gone. I ain't in my 20s no more. I'm gone. Like, shit. I've come in the house just to stop home for about an hour because I had to go back out for an appointment or something. And I just, I was like, okay, let me just go home and let the dogs out or whatever. I let the dogs out. Sit down, and then when I wake back up, it's 8 o'clock at night. But like, whole day gone.
For sure. The Frank Martin kid, I really underestimated him. I didn't know he was that sharp and that good. I think he's a better boxer than Errol myself. I mean, the dude was sharp. He had a jab with kicking on all cylinders against a long, extended puncher. And that kid, Michelle Rivera, ain't no slouch. But I swear, man, I kind of got a lot of respect for Frank Martin after that fight. The parts that I did see, like around the ninth to the end part, because they went the distance. I don't think he knocked him out, right?
He didn't. But what I was going to say about Frank Martin, as I'm watching him fight, I'm like, damn, another Mr. Gary Russell Jr. And that's a high compliment. I bet you a lot of aerosexuals, I know y'all got y'all disease and everything. I know y'all ain't think I would say that, but I like Frank Martin. There's only 2 things he do that I can't stand. And I'm going to get turned off of him as a fighter. And I'm consistent with my shit. You are that good, Mr. Frank Martin, that you don't need to hold somebody's head as you're trying to punch them. Or even when you spin somebody, but punching them as you spinning them. You that good. You don't have to do that. Because then I'm going to say, is this boxing? I don't like this shit. That's different from when y'all bow each other. That's to be expected. All y'all do that. All of y'all try to get away with little nicks and knacks throughout a fight.
Terrence Crawford do that a little bit. Yeah, Terrence Crawford do that. He kind of bowl you a little bit. Yeah.
Floyd Mayweather was a professional bower.
Oh yeah. Floyd was
I actually tried to defend Floyd. No, he don't. I sat there and watched the fight. I said, God damn. I had to call my friend up, and say, hey, I was wrong.
Water in that cup. Sorry, I'm talking about water.
I know, man. My throat was dry too.
Right there. Yeah, I need some water. Right there. The silver cup, baby. Thank you.
Drink all my fucking water. I'm over here drinking water.
Yep, Miss T said drink some water. I'm drinking some water.
So Frank Martin, when he spins you around with the waist and he's hitting you, Frank, listen to me. You're a better boxer. I tell y'all all the time, I favor real, complete boxers. That is what gets my goat going about boxing, because it's the sweet science. And if you're a real boxer, you understand physics. You understand displacement of weight. I mean, you're doing a lot of scientific shit in that ring. And so I always favor a complete boxer. he's a better boxer, Frank Warren, than Errol Spence and Jermell Charlo, in my opinion.
I'm
So
telling you.
Derrick
I'm
James
telling you.
got a good
That's what
one.
I saw. That's what I saw.
He got a good
You know,
one.
I'm gonna compare
But
him.
I'm warning
I'm gonna
him.
compare him.
I'm warning him today. Y'all remember I say these words. If I have to watch this nigga spin people and hold them and throw punches, and the nigga is that good without doing it, I'm gonna fall disenchanted with him. I'm not gonna like him, and I'm gonna pray that somebody beat his ass. I'm not gonna be a fan. For real. Because it's not necessary.
So you're not a super fan. So it's good to say you're not a super fan. Then you definitely feel like if he's not doing it right, you're going to criticize him. That's
exactly. You know, it's just like I get on your boy here, in case y'all don't know what he look like, and y'all got to put an APB out on him or something. In case y'all don't know. In case, here your boy right here.
Oh,
if your boy right here wasn't so interested in digging in people's nuts before he tried to call himself knocking you out, because I think that's his only way to knock you out. He got to debilitate you real seriously before he can really knock you out. And some of y'all new to the show, y'all saying, who is this? Why this is, why, you know, yeah, hold on, let me get the introduction, KB. Why this is none other than Errol, the nut digger Spence. So the nutcracker Spence. Yep. Errol, you that good. You are that good that you don't never have to dig in the nuts. And that's why I clown him. I clown him. Because for real, I can't, y'all be like, why you don't give him credit? Because you doing shit like this. That's not boxing to me. You know what I'm saying? You want me to say you're the greatest boxer, but you hitting people in the nuts and then followed by the body, and then you trying to play it off like you just that monster with it when it comes to the body. No, you monster when it comes to the nuts. And then you can knock anybody out that seriously can't take that pain. And Frank Warren, I'm warning you. Please don't do that, because again, that is going to make me be like, but I ain't gonna hold it against him today. Actually, I've seen him fight once before, and this was the second time I seen Frank Warren fight, and I was thoroughly impressed, except for that part. When we go forward and he's fighting, I'm telling you, I could be a super fan. I feel about him like I did Isaac Cruz. I could become a super fan of Frank Warren's, but if he's going to do that shit, I don't want to. Because I'm like,
when you see these,
use your energy for something else than hold it.
When you see these elite prospects go at it, I really start comparing them right away. So I'm already comparing him like in the fighting like the Isaac Cruzes, because I feel like they're on the same level. I'm already comparing him with like the Shakur Stevens. I'm like already looking at Frank Warren as being, contender with those guys. So it's like when we see him on that left, even Keyshawn Davis, and I think that dude Frank Warren could beat Keyshawn Davis now. I mean, Frank Martin. I mean, that's just how like much these elite. I'm gonna call them elite prospects, because to me they're elite prospects. Because I mean, they got that aura that they could be great, but you gotta go in and eliminate somebody, and that's the only way you can tell if they're gonna be greater than what you think they're gonna be. You know what I mean? Like Michelle Rivera to me is still a top-notch prospect in a way, because at least he didn't get knocked out, but he damn sure did get outboxed. You know what I mean?
I was impressed by Michelle Rivera's story, how he's so enamored with Muhammad Ali, and he actually looks like Muhammad Ali more so than Nico do.
For sure.
And
way
shit,
more.
I like shit. If it was just on the eye test, I'd be like, Nico, you lying like hell, man. Sit your ass down. But this Muhammad Ali grandson. But I was so impressed with his story. I watched him fight several times, and I thought he was good. But we got another Berlanga. He did not know how to adjust. He didn't know how to adjust. He was befuddled. The speed fucked him up. When I tell you Frank Martin is a young Gary Russell Jr., nigga, shit.
Yeah.
They almost look alike too. And from, if you squint your eyes, you know
right.
what I'm saying?
They got that mean streak, how they box, that's for sure. That speed, that mean streak.
That size,
that speed,
the quickness,
that mean streak. Yeah.
Them short punches.
He definitely was fast.
Oh, Frank Martin, you thoroughly impressed me, shawty. Until them two little things, and I was like, "Oh, Frank, don't do that." I was like, "Oh man, don't do that."
Yeah, I was watching that fight. I was watching that fight like Kambosos was whooping Teofimo ass. I was watching that fight like that. Like, damn, Frank Martin whooping on Michelle Rivera. Like,
Rivera
he did a good job.
Left. He didn't know what to do. He was lost. He was pushing his punches. He was tired. The speed on Frank Martin, god damn. Now with Keyshawn and Frank, I'ma just right now say 50-50 because that's my second time seeing Frank, and I've seen Keyshawn. He just another fast one. I don't know who will win, but Frank called out everybody for the most part. And oddly enough, Shakur said, "Run it." Shakur ready. Let's see how long they're gonna take to get that popping and shit.
I see. Yeah, I see. Keyshawn is more composed than Frank Martin, but who knows? His complacentness could be his downfall fighting somebody like a Frank Martin. That dude he already got the plan in his head on what he want to do to you, and he executes it. So if Keyshawn is complacent fighting somebody like that, he could lose focus of what he need to do and to get knocked out or something. You know what I mean? But that's just a great fight. Them two guys fighting right now. Huh?
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I interrupted you.
No, those two guys fighting in the near future would be great for boxing. Like, the prospects need to all fight in 2023. Like, why are they talking about this marination with boxers? If you out there and you on national TV, y'all should be just fighting. That's how you keep the crowd interested, is by pitting them against each other right away. You don't be sitting there waiting like for Floyd. We don't sit there and wait like until give them 5 or 6 more years and then those two guys will fight. You really just hampering their sports and their athleticism. I think you're just hampering their goals if you do that. Like, a loss isn't really bad as long as you bounce back. Because if you keep losing, then it's really bad. But if you're on national TV, you might as well get all the exposure you can get as being the best. Whoever come out on top, that's who the man is. Or the woman. You know what I mean? Depending on what sport it is. I mean, with the women or the men.
Well, with Keyshawn and Frank, they're both fast. They're both complete fighters. What might edge Keyshawn, and I just said might, I ain't saying for sure, is that he got a lot of Olympic experience. That means he's been doing it since he was a kid. That's what edge Tyson Fury over Deontay. I mean, that experience from boxing since you was 5 or boxing since you was 8 is a big deal. Now, I don't say, oh, they beat you in the amateurs. I don't give a fuck about that, because those rules are different. They working on different times, and they got the rules are different. So that's not a measure for me. But experience is a good teacher in my Mickey Howard voice. And I'm just saying, people like a Shakur will have the experience. Devin will have the experience. Tank will have the experience. Keyshawn will have the experience. All of them will have this experience over Frank Martin. And we don't know, I don't know, if all Frank Martin can do is be fast on his feet. He befuddles you by throwing his punches in your face, but he's fast. So you be like, how many people in this motherfucking ring with me? Because he be on different angles and stuff. But you're not going to be able to spin Shakur. That's why I say don't even waste your time learning that bullshit. You ain't going to be able to spin Shakur and catch him off and catch him slipping. Shakur then forgot half the things you ain't even learned yet. Shakur waxed his ass. Devin too.
Like all the little intangibles that those guys might have over him. Like, I see what you mean. Yeah.
And Tank too.
Subtle thing.
So, I mean, you want to be a champion and undisputed and shit. So comport yourself that way. You are the goods, Mr. Frank Martin. You are. Don't add stupid shit to your arsenal. That's all I say. If you do, I'm gonna be like, fuck you. I hope somebody beat your ass. T is the word, T word. He said, Miss T, what's popping? What's popping with you, T word? Yeah, I'm gonna feel that way. I'm telling y'all now. So you can't say, oh, you just hating on him because he with Errol Spence. I told you I don't give a care. I don't hate Errol Spence, but a lot of people building him up because of his affiliation with Errol Spence, and I see that too. Be careful. Don't do it to the man. He don't need it. He is that good. Just bring him along normally. Don't put no stank on it. Don't put no extra. Don't make the man be hated and shit. Right now.
Don't be having no Instagram post with him twerking next to you and shit. You talking about kissing on him and shit. Don't have none of that shit. That's just my opinion.
Look, T-Word said, I think Frank can be competitive, but lacks a pedigree of 3 elite at 135. I think we was just saying, who you saying, T? If you talk about Tank, Shakur, and Devin, you said the same thing. Hell, can y'all imagine what Lomachenko would do to this nigga? Why you bullshit?
Oh yeah, that would be crazy.
Talk about speed and angles.
I remember when, yeah. I remember that. Yeah. Yo, Lomachenko's footwork is on another level. Like, it was kind of in the Nakatani fight. You could see it back again, but I just look at Lomachenko as somebody who could. They would be a good dance partner though. Lomachenko versus Frank Martin. I mean, he fought that Virgil kid, right? The Virgil Ortiz kid. So I don't see a big difference between Frank Martin and
Virgil Ortiz.
Yeah,
they're not even the same.
I mean, what's that kid name? No, what's that kid named? The lightweight that Jermaine Ortiz that Lomachenko just fought.
For him. T-Word said he's in a similar position to Tank. A few years ago, he said Tank, Shakur, and Devin been doing this since kids. Yeah, Frank young in the game. Yes, Frank is a late bloomer. He started late, like Deontay. You know what I'm saying? So I be going back and thinking people who had Earl is not one of these people. But if this is what I mean about I always go back and debunk stuff. So don't think that I'm talking about Earl. But there's people like the Charlos and Chris Colbert who was shitting on Deontay Wilder big time because Deontay Wilder came in the boxing late, but so did a lot of people. And they went on to do big and great things. Now you got Frank Martin. So if you're a fan of Frank Martin, and if you ever said out your mouth that you had a problem with Deontay because he's just not a boxer or he's just not a whatever, then to me you're a hypocrite, even though Frank Martin is a boxer, even though he came in late. The point is, it's a lot of boxing tricks and trades of the world this motherfucker don't know. And it would take somebody like Shakur, Tank, and Devin to point that shit out to y'all. He has speed, and speed kills, especially when you're precise and accurate. That's his great attribute. But he's going to be 28 in January. Father Time don't roll over for nobody. That's fucking undefeated. Father Time, Mother Time, whatever you want to call it. T-Word said I have to disagree on 2022 and 23 Loma. His footwork is fading and the agile southpaw can give Loma trouble. He might can, yeah, Loma's getting older too.
Yeah,
but there's people who can nullify. But Loma is good enough to probably nullify what Frank is doing. Frank didn't do that much. See, when y'all looked at Loma in his heyday, y'all was like the Matrix. This nigga all over the place. I can't say that about Frank, even with the fastness. Frank fast enough to throw his hand in your face and blind you or whatever, then come behind with a straight, right behind after you blind you. He can rush in, he can rush out, he can move around. He's spinning, but see, he's spinning you. Instead of doing it, you want to know great spins? Go look at old fights of Devin Alexander. Go look at how that used to spin you and shit. And then he get in front of you, but you won't even ready for it. But he don't spin and hit you at the same time. And Kenneth Bayless had a warning nigga 6 times. Somebody gonna look at that and feel like, man, you cheating. Or they gonna take that shit personal. And you ain't gonna be able to do that to everybody. You're not gonna be able
For
to do that.
sure.
But because you won, because you was fast and you befuddled Rivera, and we saw that Rivera doesn't have no other gears. He has one gear. He could not adjust. He could not pick it up. He got scared. I think in the beginning, Rivera was showing that he could get down with him too. But fucking Frank took his heart. Frank took his will.
Yeah.
Right there in the
And you know
beginning of
what
the
too,
fight.
Miss T? And you know what? And you know, Miss T, Frank Martin looked like he was like he was seriously hungry, and you could tell like looking at Michelle Rivera that he was visibly calm, collective, and like it was just another day in the ring. And I think
Yeah.
that's where I think Frank Martin had the advantage also, because you could tell he was like dead serious about this fight. Like he wanted to win. He thinking about the win and getting ahead in the sport, and he just thinking about all of the things that he want to be. And I think Michelle Rivera is just kind of like he's just kind of happy to be in the ring. You see what I'm saying? He
Well,
just got good
Michelle Rivera
characteristics.
he's a dog
Yeah.
though, but he's
Yeah.
been lied to. He's been put up on a pedestal, but there's a way that you can say we marketing you, but don't lie to the fight at
Yeah.
the same time. Michelle Rivera believed the hype. He believed he was Muhammad Ali reincarnated. You know what I'm saying? He
I
was
heard.
going.
Yeah.
He was believing that shit, and everybody was, oh, Michelle Rivera. That's why I said Berlanga. He's another Berlanga. He got exposed.
Mm-hmm.
What he showed Rivera, what Frank was able to show us, with the basic fast speed, foot movement or whatever. Nothing spectacular, not too spectacular. But I love when Frank would get him out of position, make Rivera commit to something where he's in the inside and that short fucking punch. And when he knocked him down, man, that's Gary Russell all day. And Michelle kept running into the same problem. He wasn't adjusting his feet right. He wasn't trying to be on the outside. Once he saw that motherfucker Frank don't take it to his ass, he lost his will. And there was no need for him to lose his will. And his corner was like telling him the right thing. You got to get up. You got to pull it out you now. You got to go for it. Da, 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 da. He lost his will. Frank took his heart.
For sure.
In that.
All right, Miss T, I gotta go. I gotta go and I gotta do something because my arm is killing me. I'm glad you had me on the panel, and I'll be listening, man. I just gotta go off for a minute. I'll talk to you later.
Take you like 800 milligrams of Motrin. That shit is knocking
800 milligrams? 800?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
All right, that's okay. I'm gonna try 200. All right.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Thanks
a lot of
Miss T.
Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'll talk to you later.
All right, bye-bye. Yeah. Well, when y'all taking Motrin, don't let that be a habit, because for years that's all they gave me for pain, and it can mess up your insides. Like it thins your blood too. So if you got a problem that you don't need your blood thin, don't take no Motrin. T-word. He said, would you say Jermaine Ortiz is better seasoned than Frank Martin? I really can't say T-word because I've never seen Jermaine fight. I've heard of him, but I've never seen him fight. Captain 4G says southpaw lead foot on the outside. Reason why he kept turning Rivera. Yeah, Rivera's supposed to go left, and he wasn't doing that. Supposed to circle him to his left, and he wasn't doing that. So he was lying straight the fuck up. He really wasn't moving his head offline. And he was doing the same thing that got him there. But, maybe he liked boxing, and maybe he's better than the casual or novice or whatever. And he got a few wins and shit. They was acting like this dude, the second thing, the second coming. This is how they was building him. And he's a PBC fight, so they feeding each other fights. Now, we as boxing fans, we're gonna have to worry going forward, because a lot of y'all like PBC fighters. When they don't have a network, what y'all gonna do? I mean, because if you go and try to infiltrate what Bob is, Bob could be like, hell no, nope. Bob does not like Al Heyman. Bob don't own ESPN though, but ESPN is locked in step with Bob. Eddie Hearn shits on PBC every chance he gets. PBC can't fart in peace without Eddie Hearn commenting. Every time PBC puts on a fight, here come Eddie with disparaging remarks. So if you try to go infiltrating Eddie's territory, he's gonna be like, no, don't nobody feel sorry for Al Heyman, because he never felt sorry for nobody else. Then you got Golden Boy. Golden Boy has already pitched his wagon with Eddie Hearn in the zone. So where is he gonna go? You know, y'all hate Backshaw into corners. I've had a show where I showed you that, and I ain't the only one that did this, but I showed you who actually inked the deal with Terrence Crawford long before this Ebenezer fight in BLK. Terrence Crawford has a partnership to some degree with Bally Sports. Bally Sports, aka used to be called Fox Sports. They are now Bally Sports. Pretty soon, you will not see the name Fox Sports. You're going to see Bally's. They already, if you go to your smart TV, they already have been automatically downloaded. If you go to your cable, you will see they already have a channel and put it in there. So that means if you do ink another deal with Fox, you inking a deal with Terrence Crawford. And no matter who you put on, he gets a part of that. Don't you love it when the plan just comes together? T-Word said, okay. Martin King said, yes, indeed. Thanks for the boxing talk. Indeed. T-Word said, PBC is about to start doing more cards like January 7th. It's basically a club show. That whole card is fighters from the DMV and Philly. But Tate got a little bit more freedom, and he had a little bit more to say or to choose about who was going to be on that card. And then that card right there, I give PBC credit when they do. One of their best cards this year was Errol Spence card. That was one of their best cards. From top to bottom, even the undercard. It was one of their best cards. I wouldn't tell you got ripped off for paying your money neither. I told you guys why I don't buy PBC fights. And I was an avid fight buyer from anybody last year. But Tim Smith showed me the way, huh? Can I say amen to Tim Smith? He showed me the way. He showed me that I ain't need to give that much credence to somebody like PBC. Because I don't understand y'all hate over Bud Crawford. And I'm willing to part ways with y'all over the stupid shit. And along with the other shit. It was never Errol Spence's fault why I don't buy PBC fights. So I'm clear. It was this notion that you're going to fuck this dude over on purpose. And that you've been lying to us all these years. And then now you giving us these fugazi-ass fights. And you charging high-ass numbers for pay-per-view for shit like Ruiz and fucking Luis Ortiz type shit. Because you refuse to pay these niggas. Because you fucked off your money. Because you squeezed off your money to Canelo. And he took it and ran. With one fight. You know, and if the Bivol fight and Canelo fight was a PBC fight, you gave Canelo all his fucking money. But you paid Bivol $2 million. Then you held this shit. I understand this country is in turmoil. They got something going on. But y'all held this shit. But the point is, you paid the nigga $2 million. The actual champion. But Canelo's a star. Fuck Canelo. Mayweather ain't do none of y'all motherfuckers like that. When Mayweather had a fight, one thing you could guarantee is that was going to be one of your biggest paydays and one of your best paydays. That's why Canelo is where he is today, because of his fight with Mayweather. Mayweather could have gave that nigga $1 million, $500,000. Canelo got something like I think guaranteed $7 million. He wound up walking away with $12 million or more. But we don't even want to count what Mayweather did. It's fucking ridiculous. But the point is, he made some money. Now everybody say, well, he don't draw in. You create these standards so you can legitimately fuck people over, and people see that shit and they tired of it. Canelo is in the same boat as Mayweather. Y'all paid this nigga $50 million. And you gave Caleb Plant 10 because Caleb all about his BI. Shout out to Caleb Plant. Caleb was like, fuck, you gonna pay me. But when you paid Canelo all this fucking money, you couldn't find more money to give to Bivol? Just $2 million up front? You guys are slapping people in the face. And that's why your motherfucking asses are falling down. Ain't nobody gonna feel sorry for you when you screwing over people and shit. Why should we feel sorry for you? You don't feel sorry. It ain't a tear you could cry. It ain't nothing. It ain't a tear. I'm trying to think. A tear you could cry. A letter you could write. A persuasive speech. A church. A pastor speaking for you. Nothing. I'm trying to think of anything. No shoes you could buy them. You can't even buy. Nothing you could do to make Al Heyman treat you right. Nothing. Or do a solid by you. He doesn't capitulate. He don't try to meet you in the middle. He don't give a fuck. And I suspect that when he go out there trying to find a network, them people gonna feel the same way. What y'all think? Frank Martin. Excellent fighter, dog. I'm a fan. I think you one of the best fighters over there. That Derek James Scott, that's just my opinion, because you're a complete boxer. But I warn you, and y'all heard me say it here, if he gonna do the dirty tactic of holding people by their neck or face and hitting them, or spinning them around as he hitting them, I gotta fall back. I gotta fall back, Frank. And I hope somebody whoop your ass. Because I'm not gonna like you. I'm telling you in my humblest voice ever, you are good enough without it. You don't even need that tactic. You are that damn good. I can't be no more humble than that. But if that's the path you choose, you already know. T-Word said Heyman is like Diddy. Yeah, he is. Heyman be on that shit. See, Heyman, he got the big head. He real big headed and shit. You Scott the Key, get some ointment for that. Don't nobody want to look at you grabbing your shit the whole fight. Get some ointment for that. I'm going to tell y'all heads up. I'm going to tell y'all what y'all need to watch out for. Watch how these Errol sexuals, right now we don't have a cure for that disease, but watch how they all of a sudden start loving apps. Watch how things they used to hate, they start loving because now they're in a need. And I would like to say, if you don't believe, if you're Earl Sexual, because Earl Sexuals can't take the fact that PBC is down on their luck. And Earl Sexuals will tell the average person who report the truth that they praying on their downfall. I didn't make this happen. If y'all needed proof that PBC financially house is not in order, or that they about to be, as Errol Spence called it, a man with no land because they ain't gonna have no networks, that's the proof right there. Now PGH said, look it up. I say I'm not gonna do research while I'm doing the show, but I'll look it up. But I will tell you guys, I'm gonna put it back in y'all lap. Ain't nothing stopping y'all from going to this. Let me get to it. Going to this heading right here. Y'all see me doing it. Boxing News 24. Y'all see it. BoxingNews24.com. You can get the press, the latest stories, and then you can get the boxing schedule and the rankings and all that good stuff. Never before have I ever seen this. If you can find, I don't know how to look for it on here, but some of you are better researchers. If you can find this, this article or whatever, this online digital article, let me see, last December. Hell, I've showed y'all this schedule throughout the year, and y'all know it was damn near 2 months worth of shit. I showed you. I don't know what show to tell you to watch, but sometimes I'll pull the schedule up and I will read from September to December. So don't tell me that PBC just ain't, they ain't wrote the schedule yet, because that's not true. That's not how that's why your business is failing. If that's the case, that has never been the case. As I pointed out to you guys, Showtime. Out of 7 fights that's on this schedule, Showtime on here twice. Fox on here, none. But, PBC got all this network shit. PBC about to copy after BLK. If PBC was smart, they'll fuck with BLK. But y'all hate is so dumbfounded that it get in your way. Like, you guys will put a stain or a mark on BLK for life, because why? In y'all eyes, BLK threw Terrence Crawford a life raft. You guys manufacture your anger. You mad at what? Oh, he took the fight with David Avenese in the middle of a negotiation. The negotiation was over when all 3 parties who could decided that the fight won't happen till the year 2023. Bud warned them from the jump. I'm fighting you. I'm fighting this year. Even Errol Spence get in on the fun. With or without you, Bud Crawford, I'm fighting November 19th. These are their declarative statements. Only one of them kept their promise, and the other one lied. And you know which one that is. What Bud did does not preclude him from fighting this year coming up. Errol Spence alluded to somewhere around the end of January. Guess what? Bud can fight you in the end of January. If anybody want to say, oh, no, they can't fight, they got to wait 2 or 3 months before a fight, bullshit, a lot of don't even come with that. We can put up Floyd Mayweather's whole fighting career. and showed you where he fought once a month, twice a month, straight for like the first 2.5 years. If you said, well, that's back then, oh, we could pull up Ryan Garcia. We could put up Mike Tyson. We could put up a couple people where it would show you that they fought often. You have to pass the physical, and if you in a fight, you can't get cut. That's an automatic sit down for 3 months. You can't break nothing. That's an automatic sit down for 6 months. You can't get cussed. I don't know. At a minimum, it's an automatic sit down for 3 months. But if none of that happened and you can pass the physical, you could be fighting in 2 or 3 weeks again. So what Bud did December 10th has no bearing on what Bud and Errol could do in the coming future. I say that right now, between all the top tier fighters, Bud Crawford, Errol Spence, Bruce Ennis, Virgil Ortiz, and we're going to even throw Stanionis up in the mix, right? Or Keith Thurman up in the mix. Out of all of those fellas, Errol Spence is in a pickle. He's backed into a corner. And guess what? It's not a bad thing. You want to be in that position. Now you know how Floyd feels. I'm not saying it's a knock to Errol. He should want to be in that position. Everybody wants you. I know it comes with a lot of bullshit, a lot of agony, a lot of frustration and shit. You want it, but you want it without all this extra shit. But that's how it is. You know, everybody wants you. Everybody want that Charlie Wonka golden chocolate ticket or whatever, the chocolate ticket. Everybody wants you, Earl. And you'd rather it be like that. That's good for you in your career. You'd rather them want you than ignore you. Terrence is in a unique situation. People may want that belt, but they really don't want to have to face that monster. Because they know you come in one way, you might go out another way. You know, so a lot of people, it's like saving him for last, like, damn. Like, after I fight him, I'm going to go ahead and take it to the house. He's that hard of an opponent. And Terrence Crawford, as fucked up as it is when people avoid you, they scared of you. And they talk about you. Making you the #1 trending boxer on Google. And have been. People's lives on YouTube do not get that exciting and get many views unless they're talking about you. And you rather for them to feel that way about you than to feel nothing about you or ignore you. So both Errol and Terrence are in a very unique situation. Errol, you have a big decision. We gonna see. And I told y'all weeks ago, I said, you know, this is me being petty. I know. I said, I would really love to see what Errol Spence gonna do when it come to Keith Thurman. Because, you know, I'm going to hold his feet to the fire is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to hold his feet to the fire because one day he'll learn. If I do that, if y'all do that, if everybody do that, he'll learn to stop saying shit that he shouldn't say. You know, like, and I ain't saying, I'm not making it seem like he was so wrong. Like it was, oh, damn, like he really fucked up. But I'm saying you put your own foot in your mouth with the things that you say and you backed yourself in the corner. You know, like I'll give you an example because I don't think y'all probably understand what I'm saying. Remember when Earl had his accident? Everybody was happy that he made it through. I was. And Earl said, tune-ups are for people who ain't sure of themselves. I never for the life of me understand why this man say the things he say. And I said, okay. Nobody asked him. It's just something he wanted to say. Is it illegal to say? No. Is it how he feel? It's how he feel. But you're going to see how that saying that is putting your foot in your mouth. Because this is one of the arguments or back and forths that I had with my Bigfoot sighting. My actual, like I said, it's one thing to meet and talk to Errol sexuals online. You can almost say they're computer bots or something. You can make yourself think that. It's another thing that no one, like real life, no one. And the example I'm going to give is with that tune-ups for people who ain't sure of themselves. Well, Errol, that's a put down. And you have a right to say it. Cool. But now let's take Danny Garcia. Danny Swift Garcia. One of my favorite fighters. I like Danny. But Danny Swift Garcia. And compare and contrast him to your boy Bud Crawford. Between just those two people, who is a tune-up? Now, my boy took it as me saying Danny was a scrub or Danny was bad, he ain't good. And I had to remind him, who elite in the 147 did Danny beat? No one. So when it was time for him to step up, he failed. I had to remind my boy that. Well, yeah. I had to remind him that Danny vacated out of divisions every time Buzz came calling. Danny also turned down a fight with Bud Crawford at one time for $3 million or something like that. So who is the better fighter? Period. Between Danny and Bud. Who is the harder fighter? Danny or Bud? I was slow walking his ass right into this question. And he wouldn't let me do it. That's when they start acting like they don't even know the difference between year 2022 and 2023. Dude wouldn't let me slow walk him right into that punch, taking too much punishment. But I just ask those type of questions. Your answer, if you honest, is Bud Crawford. Bud is the harder fighter. Bud is the best. Bud has achieved more. If all of us can agree that Bud and Errol should have been for 4-5 years ago, and you know it hasn't been 4-5 years since he fought Danny. So when I come back and say, between Danny Garcia and Bud Crawford, between them two only, who is the tune-up? Man, I wish I had FaceTime on to see the look in his face because he didn't want to give it to me. So don't tell the public shit like tune-ups are for people that's unsure of themselves, like you holier than thou, or you rising above everybody and shit, and like you Captain King Dangling in this motherfucker, when you took a tune-up, nigga. When you could have took the fight with Bud. I ain't mad at you for whatever choices you make, Errol Spence, but this is what I mean by you put your foot in your mouth. You always do. Nobody asks you tune-ups for people that are unsure of themselves. Nobody asks you that shit. But that was your way of putting somebody down. And it backfired on your ass because you wound up putting yourself down. I just told y'all, the calf of the grave you dig might be the one for yourself. While you digging. And that's what he does. He didn't know by saying that's, how I could turn around and look. But look what he did to himself. And like I said, y'all can go to this Right here, Boxing News 24. The proof is in the pudding. PBC ain't gonna have no network. What y'all gonna do? February will be here quick. And January 28th is the last date that they got. Now, we don't even know how that's going. I don't even think that that's a Showtime pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's pay-per-view. Now, granted, right here, Tank Davis, it says Showtime. It doesn't say pay-per-view. And normally, they used to say pay-per-view. But right here, it don't say it. So, I can't make heads or tails with this one. But we know the Tank fight is going to be a pay-per-view. You just know it. I hope for Jermell Charlo's sake that his is too. He's undisputed. He deserves our respect. But I heard what you said, Jermell. You came out and said Terrence Crawford ain't fought nobody and all that. Just chill. Don't celebrate too quick. Be ready for when Terrence gonna come slap your ass up. It's coming. But anyway, that's all I got for y'all today. The rant is real. The hate out there is real. Not by me. I don't hate no fighters. Frank Martin, you did an excellent job. You was fucking Gary Russell Jr. esque. Mr. Gary Russell Jr. esque. But get rid of them two flaws. And man, you about to be a superstar, I think. You on your way. You keep them flaws. You just a grimy, dirty fighter that I hope you get your ass whipped. It's that simple for me. But anyway, when y'all know better, you do better. You know, look, that's all I have for the day. Thank y'all, everybody. Thank you, MKB, as usual, is showing up. ATL was popping, dude. I know you listen and say, damn. Let me give you a picture of your boy, ATL, before I go. Reginald was popping. Reginald, it's okay to show up, show your face. I mean, it ain't the end of the world, Reginald, but Timothy Bradley did not get it first ballot. I was right. And they ain't like nah. He got in quicker than I thought he would. But I wasn't really thinking about him. But he got in pretty quick, which is commendable. You know what I'm saying? But when I say I don't know something, I'm just saying I don't know. You know, you wanted me to say I know Earl going to the Hall of Fame. I don't know. But what I did know is he won't go on first ballot. That's all I did know. That's what I said. Once again, Terrence Crawford beat him out of something. Ray New Salters is just coming in the building as we about to leave. As we proceed. He said, hello, Miss T, what's popping, Ray New? But listen, I'm going to catch y'all tomorrow at the risk of messing up my voice and my Pamela James voice. Peace.